What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well and having a great time out there. Of course, it is your boy, Andrew Esquire, and this is the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Guys, welcome. Good evening to you all over there in U.S. land. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a great night tonight. Of course, special shout out to the first person in the chat other than Ahmad, which is Wooksy. So, Wooksy, what's up? Was the first person to comment in the chat. So shout out. We're going to have a lot today because I woke up and the story changed. As often happens with me, when I wake up in the morning, I can see a completely different news item. And I'm like, well, I have to cover that now. That happens to me so often. And today is no exception to that. So today we're going to get into it. And we are indeed live right now. So shout out to my live homies. Is this live right here? Say live. Don Baca, Billy Aoki, Benjamin, what's up? DJ Corey, Christine, the Tiki Man, bringing it to the only room. That's the Tiki room. Woke up this morning, grabbed myself a beer. That's a good song. All right, but good to see everybody up in the house today. Also, let me down. There's some okay, here we go. Let me just change some of the settings here. I also want to send this out on the Twitters. Now, we are a little bit early today because I changed it to 10:30 because I needed to add the major stuff. So for all those that were interested in that, I know a lot of people were talking about that. So I had to really cover that. Talking majors, Musk and Peltz. So that'll go out on X. So for all those people that didn't get the notice, because I know I saw some people saying that that they had not gotten the notice for this show. As always, there's always people that are not getting the notice for one reason or another when it comes to the show. So first of all, we're going to start with, I think the top news item or the thing that's kind of going around has been what's going on with Jonathan Majors. That's happening right now. So we're going to talk about this situation with Kang. And for those who don't know, let me pull up a picture. So what was going on in the Marvel universe, for those who may or may not care, Marvel being Disney, right? And Disney being what? Well, I've been covering forever here. You've got the new big bad, right? You've got the new big bad, and that is Kang. So Kang is supposed to be the Thanos part 2, right? This is supposed to be the next Thanos, is Jonathan Majors as Kang. And I know it is a little ironic to cast Jonathan Majors as a Kang. But that said, this was where they were going. Their entire arc for Marvel was to push this guy as their next big bad, right? Their entire place where they're going with all this. They have now thrown all of that in the trash. They have multiple feature films going back to Ant-Man, TV shows, all this Marvel universe, which they now have to scrap or effectively replace him with a separate actor, which effectively scraps that villain arc. Because they now have a conviction, right? So they now have an actual conviction against this guy, and they had to fire him. Okay? So Marvel, Disney cut ties with Jonathan Majors after actors convicted in an assault of his girlfriend. Sentencing is February 6th. So we'll see how long he gets. He's an actor, so I bet he'll get a slap on the wrist. But that said, this is big news, and it's also big news. It also pissed me off because a lot of people are comparing this to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And we're going to talk about that and how that is absolutely the most wild mischaracterization of this case. Jonathan Majors is nowhere near Johnny Depp. He's not Johnny. He's not close to Johnny. The facts in this case are not the same as in the Johnny Depp case. straight off the bat, one of the things that pops out is one of them is a convicted criminal now. So Johnny Depp in America, and frankly elsewhere too, was never convicted of any crimes. Okay, let me repeat that again. Johnny Depp was never convicted of any crimes in any country, whether it's the United States or England or Australia or anywhere else, right? So Johnny Depp was 100% not a criminal. Jonathan Majors is now a criminal because he has been convicted of a crime. I can say that, and it's not defamatory. It's true now. Jonathan Majors is a criminal. He is guilty. He's an abuser. I can say he's an abuser because he was convicted. One of the counts he was convicted of, and I'll show you guys right here. But the count he was convicted of was assault and harassment. So you can say, because those are types of abuse, right? Those are types of physical abuse and mental abuse as well. When harassment can also be physical harassment as well. So you've got these charges against him. You can now call him an abuser. The thing with Johnny Depp is you cannot call Johnny Depp an abuser because Johnny Depp was never convicted of any form of abuse. Now, people will say, oh, well, it was a split jury in the Majors decision because, look, Majors had some counts he was not found guilty of. He was acquitted of aggravated harassment and a different assault charge. That doesn't matter. He's got two convictions against him. He's now both a criminal and an abuser. And it was only when Jonathan Majors was convicted that he was dropped by Marvel. So only after the verdict, note this, after the verdict was he dropped. Let's be very clear, people. Let's be very clear. In this case, at least Jonathan Majors was given due process by Disney and Marvel, right? They allowed Jonathan Majors to go through trial and get a verdict and prove whether he was innocent or guilty. They did not do the same thing with Johnny Depp. With Johnny Depp, they just fired him. With Jonathan Majors, they kept him on. And some might say, oh, well, Andrew, this is because there's a big film and he's important to Marvel. Are you kidding me? You think Johnny Depp wasn't important to Pirates of the Caribbean? Are you kidding me? No, it's not because of their relative position and how much money they're going to make. Johnny Depp was set to make a bunch of money too. In fact, Kang is losing money. If you look at the films that have been put out with Kang in them, within those films, they've lost money. The productions that are going out are losing money with Kang. They were making money with Johnny. If anything, Johnny was making more money than Kang. Did they give this treatment to any other folks in the industry? No. Well, Billy Aoki said it right here. You got that POC privilege, just like the mayor in, I don't know if you guys saw the Boston mayor that had the people of color dinner where she literally explicitly excluded white people as a public official. That would be potentially illegal in Florida, but I'm not sure what was going on there in Boston law or, Massachusetts law, but potentially illegal. But that being said, is it because they said, hey, Jonathan Majors, you're our shining light on the hill. You are our MLK of actors. You are our Malcolm X of actors. And I use those references very specifically because Jonathan Majors called himself that. Jonathan Majors thought that he was the Martin Luther King of media. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. But certainly this is giving different process. The corporations, Disney, Walt Disney's Marvel says, oh, well, if it's a person that's not white, we have to wait. We have to wait for the jury verdict. But if they're white, especially if they're a white man, we can just fire them right away. Fire them right away. Don't ask questions. Fire them. And it's becoming clear. It's becoming obvious. And I love seeing it in the form of Disney because, as we'll hear from Elon later, Disney is the quintessential woke company. Disney is the woke company. So the charges stem from a dispute between the Creed 3 actor. Why Creed 3? Like the Marvel actor. He's already been in those films. So just put it the Marvel actor. And his girlfriend, Grace Jabari, that began in the backseat of a chauffeured car and spilled in the streets of Manhattan one night last March. Jabari, a 30-year-old British dancer, accused Majors of an attack inside the vehicle that left her in excruciating pain. She said he struck her in the head with open hand, twisted her arm behind her back, and squeezed her middle finger until it fractured. Majors' lawyers said she was the aggressor, alleging that she flew into a jealous rage after reading a text message on his phone sent by another woman. They said that Jabari had spread a fantasy to take down the actor, who was only trying to regain his phone and get away safely. The verdict became a major blow to Majors, who was on the verge of Hollywood stardom until his arrest in March sent his career into a tailspin. He portrayed the villain known as Kang the Conqueror in the Ant-Man movie and was scheduled to play the lead role in Avengers: The Kang Dynasty in 2026. This is where we go. Completely nukes their plot line. Because remember, guys, Disney has to build up these plot lines for years before they get to them. And now they're done. Now they got no option here. Is This Live gifted 20 legal mindset memberships? Thank you so much, Is This Live. You are indeed very based. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. And appreciate all the members out there. Make sure you accept the gift memberships. I see Kathleen Morrison, Charles G, Jenny, Shade221. All you guys, give a big thanks. Winston, DMV Trek, Sci-Fi Chick, Joshua Keiselbach, Kevin, Jeff Seltzer, Ariane Degonal, the consultant, and Azurin Night Terror, the Black Dragon, as well as Snowball Effect, Alicia G, Ran, Xerox, and Freedom Ring, and Jason Rosenberger. All you guys got free memberships. So please say thank you to Is This Live, all you guys. Please give a thank you. Those people I just mentioned out there, give a thank you to Is This Live for giving you those memberships, because that helps you guys have access to the members only streams, to have access to the exclusive content, the emojis. You know, it's great. You've got full access to all that now, thanks to Is This Live. So thank you for those memberships. All right. Sleazy, what's up in the Philippines? Get a better hotel, get better internet. All right. Let's see. And also shout out to everybody who's on locals as well. I kept the live chat up from last time. So those that want to be in that live chat, you can just look at last time's live chat. It's still up from 23 hours ago. So for those guys over there. Also, I love the comment by Aaron over there on Rumble, which is Pirates of the Caribbean. Appreciate that. And make sure you guys drop a like, whether you're on Rumble or YouTube or everywhere else. Drop a like on the stream. It really helps. Leprechaun Gold, thank you for the $3 super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's continue here with this news. So we've got Jonathan Majors, we've got Kang here. And when we're looking at this, one thing we want to look at in terms of the evidence, right? Because this is what was actually entered into evidence, was a series of text messages and audio. So there was audio of Majors who, in that audio that they entered as evidence, so we can find it because it was entered as evidence in court, we know it's at least sort of credible, right? There's some credibility and reliability behind that evidence. So there's audio of Majors declaring himself a great man, then questioning whether Jabari could meet the high standards set by the spouses of Martin Luther King and Barack Obama. I'm sorry, it wasn't Malcolm X, it was Barack Obama. So he's comparing himself to Barack Obama, to a president and the largest and best known African American civil rights leader out there, Martin Luther King Jr. So he literally thinks of himself as the entertainment world's Barack Obama. This is how much ego on this guy, the sheer hubris on this guy to think that he is the MLK and the Barack Obama of entertainment. Really ridiculous. Brooks Kelly said, so Major's only hope is to date Amber Heard. I know. It's the only way. It's his only way out. Sounds like he was dating an Amber Heard, but also sounds like he was himself a person who was deeply troubled, right? Maybe this girl was also having problems. Maybe she was also kind of crazy. Look, people in Hollywood are all kind of crazy. They're all kind of unstable, right? But that being said, Jonathan Majors clearly had some unstable behavior as well. Let's look at this guy and what he was doing here. I want to show you what was going on here with Jonathan Majors. Now, this video is trash tier quality, but this is all we got in terms of the footage from that night. So this is posted by people that were defenders of Jonathan Majors. There's not really audio here. So we're just going to play the video of him running from the car. So this is the night of the quote unquote incident, right? So you have them like here. Now he's pushing her back into the car, right? So he's holding her down, pushing her back in the car. I think he's holding her down at some point here. And then she comes out and they're walking away. And then he runs away. Now he's like pushing her and running away, and she's chasing, right? So she's coming after him. He's running like Forrest here. He's just straight up sprinting. I'm surprised, what I'm saying. I'm surprised she's able to. I mean, Jonathan is either slow or she's now she's about to run in front of a car, which is fucking nuts. That is pretty nuts. So you see him running out, turn the corner. Now you have no idea what the hell's happening there. Okay, there you go. Run this way. So there's pretty much a run, Forrest, run going on there. But why he's running is, she's a dancer. She can move. I mean, it doesn't show much there. Does not show much there or prove much there. Especially since in the beginning, what you see is him trying to like put her back in the car, right? So you really don't know what went on with the accusations that happened inside the car. You need testimony from the driver of the car as to what was going on. But then on top of that, you have the text messages. Now, I want to show you guys and read out the text messages we had that were entered into evidence. These are the text messages here, guys. So we got a bunch of them here. Maybe slightly out of order. But here you go. These are some Jonathan. So Jonathan Majors. You guys can see that. And you've got the comments here. I will not go to the doctor if you do not feel safe with me doing so, or do not trust me. I promise I would never mention you, but I understand your fears. This is from the girl. Right? And this is Jonathan. You can't reject love if there's no real love. It's just lip service. I gave you love last night and this morning before I got out of the bed. When you got up, you were not full of love at all. I didn't feel it at all. You could, of course, given me a hug or walk close to me or ask me if you could give me a hug, not the other way around. It worked both ways. I will probably mill myself. I think this is meant to be mill. It's meant to be a certain word with K. It is not really contemplating anymore. So he's already threatening to self-delete, right? That is in his very first text messages. He's kind of threatening to self-delete. Now, that is typically something that is more of a feminine behavior. Typically, men commit suicide, and I've talked about this. In fact, I had a little spat about this with Nina. Men commit suicide at 3 to 4 times the rate of women. It's actually a legitimate crisis. But when men tend to commit suicide, the pattern is that men just do it. They don't talk about it, right? That's the key there. The most male suicides are just people who go out and just commit suicide without threatening to do suicide. So the threat of suicide is actually more of an indicator that you're leaning towards not doing it versus just going out and doing it. Like actually going out and successfully committing suicide versus threatening or attempting to commit suicide. Right? Because those are two different, from a psychological perspective, those are two different things. One of them is desperation and actually being at the end of that rope versus attention-seeking behavior, right? Because those are two separate two separate things. And I know it's difficult and it's a hard subject to talk about. It's very difficult. It's emotional. And obviously it's never a good thing to talk about. And obviously this is serious content. And I take this very seriously because I have had many people that I know that are close to me that have indeed ended their lives in this way, voluntarily ended their lives. I take this topic very, very seriously. I take this issue for men very, very seriously. And that's why I am really all about calling out the facts versus the fiction on this. Because the people that, look, my close friend when I was growing up, in fact, one of the friends who helped teach me German, right, who was a very good friend of mine, he killed himself. And I had no clue this was going on with him. I had no clue what he was struggling with. I had no clue about the stuff that was going on in his house that I had no idea about. And I think I remember I was 19 years old. I was in college. He was one of my buddies that was, just helping me learn German at that time. I had an Austrian girlfriend. I didn't know. It just happened, right? The guy just went out and did it. And the next day when I went to message him on Facebook, this is back in Facebook days, I got a message from his sister that said, hey, he killed himself. And I was devastated because I had no clue. He never threatened it to me, never told me, never did anything else, and it's very, very sad topic. It's really bad. So when I see people threatening it, I don't take that. It really makes me mad because it's undermining what is a very serious issue, so I take it seriously. And since then, by the way, a lot of guys that are in very dark places write me on Twitter and email and everybody else. And I take this serious. I take this very, very seriously. So just so you know, it's a little bit of a topic that I try to come down on the right side of, because I don't like when people joke about it. I don't like when people threaten it. It's not cool. It's not okay. So yeah. So anyways, let's continue here. And I'll get your super chats, guys, in a second. We have this. So he said, okay, I'm not contemplating anymore. I'm a monster, a horrible man, not capable of love. I am yeeting myself. I already put things in motion. Jonathan, you can't say this. I am going to have to call someone. Well, that's I think what he wanted was that she has to do something, right? So I am sorry for not hugging you this morning. I really am. I was sleepy and disoriented by the fact that you thought I would break your necklace. I love you so much, obviously. What do you mean you put this in motion, right? So he's now talking about, okay, I'm planning to do this, right? Obviously that's pretty bad, right? You can't just go out and say that and then not expect someone to react to that or call the police or get you checked up on, right? That's obviously something you would do. And then here you have another one that says, it's just fake. And I think it says a disjointed text message. This is one that's separate. And you, I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will, by the way, this is his bad English, not mine. I'm just reading it. They will ask you questions, and as I don't think you could actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something, which technically is true. If the doctors suspect that there is domestic abuse, they can lead to an investigation, even if you tell them that it's okay. That part is true. Right. So that part is not as true. But if it's at that point, then obviously you need to think about, okay, is this real? Is this not real? Is this something that is problematic or not problematic? I will go to the doctor and tell them I bumped my head. If I go, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I want to tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you? I feel like you want to be together, as in not embarrass yourself for everything you said to your family and friends. Last night, I considered yeeting myself versus coming home. And you said you needed love last night, and I put my feelings aside and tried to give it to you. I need love too. Or maybe I'm such a monster and horrible man, I don't deserve it and should yeet myself. This way, the existence is miserable. I want to, and then that tapers off, right? So this is Jonathan Majors and his kind of like behavior, his text messages. I frankly, I don't believe Jonathan Majors based on these text messages. I question a lot. Those were entered into evidence. So yeah, those were there. Those were there in the case against him. So I'm really skeptical of Majors here, but a lot of people got behind this as like OJ Part 2. And there were a lot of people, particularly in a certain community, like the woke the woke POC community that were like, all right, we got to support our boy against a white woman, right? And that was the narrative was, okay, well, it's a white woman and a person of color, so we gotta support them against the white woman here. That was a certain segment, and those people were big mad, right? And let me point this out real quick here. Here's our boy here. So right, this is Fear Buck, who says, no way Jonathan Majors was found guilty. Nice New York jury fell for a white woman. That motherfucker had proof on camera running away from the woman and was still found guilty. And then I like this reaction. Shit. So, that's the reaction there on that side. I think, look, we got to be very careful when you are calling everybody in Amber Heard, when you're calling everybody as lacking of evidence, because there can indeed be evidence and indeed be a guilty verdict. And that makes it much different in character. That makes this entirely different in character than a different case. So just jumping to comparing this to Amber Heard is not accurate. It's also not accurate to compare it to OJ or any other situation like that, because it's not the same factual pattern. And by the way, I don't think this woman is necessarily innocent completely herself, right? She's likely got many things that she's doing wrong. She likely was also mentally unstable. However, the question is, the jury, when looking at this, found that he was a criminal, right? That he indeed was guilty of these two charges, that the evidence that brought against him was sufficient to prove a conviction. So now, regardless of what we think or feel, Jonathan Majors can actually be called a domestic abuser, can be called a person who's violent against women, and that is no longer defamatory, which is why Marvel cannot have that. That cannot be sustained by Disney. Disney cannot employ somebody who is convicted as a abuser of females. So that's where I'm at with this one. Let me get to these super chats. Mario Trujillo says, so if Disney is convicted of list too long, what are the chances the rack gets carved up and sold to parks? I've seen similar things happen for less. So you're talking about, Mario, this is a separate topic, but you are talking about the list of crimes if they get convicted of all of them. Now, I don't think that the result of that would then being based on criminal charges against Disney. I don't think that would end up in Disney being carved up by the charges, i.e. by the criminal charges, but I think it might end up in a situation where financially Disney has to split off its company, has to take its assets and liabilities and divide them because they've got winners and losers, and they've got to get rid of some of these losers right now. So I think that's something that is possible going forward, particularly as Disney is being hit from all sides with an attack from Nelson Peltz, which this proxy war, we're going to talk about that. We're going to jump right into that. I think there's a real chance here that we get some serious action regarding Disney and the dissolution and a breakup of the company, or serious components falling off of Disney. I think that's very possible. Very possible. Ministry of Wrong Thing says that footage of him running away looked like he was auditioning for Obi-Wan if Netflix did the Disney Plus Kenobi show. I love it. There's a difference between Jonathan Majors and people I know IRL who've gone through something like that. Not something you joke about. No, it's not something you joke about. It really is not. And I really don't like when I see text messages like that. My alarm bells for he's faking it and he's drawing. That's a attention-seeking behavior. A lot of people, male and female, by the way, male and female, both will use suicide attempts as a very nasty, malicious, manipulative method of control, right? And this is something men and women do. And I'm going to be very fair about this because Jonathan Majors is a guy, right? And a lot of people say, Andrew, you pull your punches when it comes to guys. I don't. If they are the Jonathan Majors, right? And they're out there where it looks like and it appears he was faking a suicide attempt. In fact, it was at this point, he said he was going to do it. He didn't do it. So you could say it's a faked attempt, right? He actually did not commit suicide. So there you go. You know, it's like, well, if he was going to do it, you know, he would have done it. He didn't do it, right? So it's not something you really joke about. It's not something you threaten. It's certainly not something you would bring up with your romantic partner. You should bring it up with a therapist. Why are you talking to your romantic partner about it? If you need help, go get help, right? your romantic partner is not your therapist, is not your confidant, it's not your best friend, it's not your dad or your mom or somebody else you speak to about this, not your romantic partner in a way to coerce them. That's not good, whether it's a woman or a man, doesn't matter. Gender neutral. I'm gender neutral on that. You should never be talking about that in a way to solicit attention from the other person. And the framing he had was, because you didn't hug me. Like, think about that. Because you didn't hug me, I'm going to yeet myself. Is that a masculine frame? But let me just ask you guys real quick. Is that a man who says, you didn't hug me, so I'm going to yeet myself? To be honest, no. No, that is a weak, feminine dude. That is incredibly weak to say, you didn't hug me today, so I'm going to yeet myself. If you have a problem in your relationship, you just talk to them directly. Guys, I know it's shocking because I may have a Playboy image, but I've had multiple long relationships in which I've had very good communication with the people I'm with. When I have a problem, I just say it. I just say, hey, I didn't like you did that. I didn't like that you did that. It's not good. It's not great. We talk about it, right? We talk about it. And we say, hey, you did this. That was kind of a dick move. Like, let's talk about that. It's normal. That's what normal adults are supposed to do. Children do things like, oh, well, you didn't hug me, so I'm going to go hurt myself. What? Come on. I'm sorry. That's real wuss behavior. I mean, and even like, it's an insult to even call it female. It's just super beta. It's actually an insult to even call it female, because there's females that are stronger than that by far. It's incredibly beta. It's incredibly just despicable. It's despicable behavior. It's disgusting behavior. It's wormy behavior. It's passive. Oh, there you go. Passive aggressiveness is ugliest on a man. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, he needs constant confirmation of love, it seems, even when he's abused as a significant other. Yeah. And it seems like that's the thing. That's the thing. And I agree. That's your friend's job. Your friend's job is to support you and be honest with you and help you out. So go talk to your friends. Not enough people. Go talk to your homeboys. Get some homeboys. If you do not have guys, if you do not have a male friend to talk to, you need a male friend. Guys need friends too. Go get some men to talk to. Talk to other men about it, right? Just like women are smarter, right? They're more socially aware. They got female friends. Guys, you need some guy friends. Nick Cruiser, what's up? Welcome as a member. Thank you. Welcome back, Nick. You've been on and off as a member, but welcome back as a member to BLM, to the base legal mindset, the highest tier of my membership. Appreciate you there and appreciate all you guys' support. You guys are absolute G's when it comes to this. Okay, so let me get to two things. I want to finish up on this Jonathan Majors thing. So first of all, I want to get to a little meme here. This is kind of funny. Because you guys know I'm a man of the memes. I'm a man of the people and a man of the memes. So let's get to the memes here real quick before we get to the article I want to kind of laugh at. So Kagura's Top Gal says, Ezra Miller, the Flash, watching Jonathan Majors go to jail while he basically got away with it. All right. So that one is absolutely classic. That is the perfect meme for this. That is the perfect meme for this with Ezra Miller, who is absolutely a deplorable, nasty individual who should be locked up and the key thrown away, but unfortunately not. Okay, I want to read this one real quick. This is the article. This is by Kelly. So I'm not shocked that Kelly Risman of The Independent says the Jonathan Majors assault trial is hauntingly similar to Depp versus Heard. The free Jonathan Majors hashtag comes years after the hashtag Johnny Depp is innocent, and both came long before one of the verdicts were in. No. This is what really pisses me off about this. Listen to me. This is what is bullshit. This woman is comparing a civil defamation trial versus a criminal trial in which one person was convicted of crimes, one person was he was not even on trial. Okay, he was not even on trial. There were defamation charges against him, but not criminal charges. No criminal charges were pressed because Amber Heard knew if she filed them, she would be in trouble for filing a false police report. Crazy. So it's really, to me, as somebody who watched the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp trial, the comparison is disgusting. I like this. Yes, but let us talk about how good of an imitation Andrew does of progressive liberal women. It's pretty spot on. It's pretty spot on. But yeah, the cases are nothing alike. They're not even close. Not even sort of close. And shout out to, I see you, Darth, over there on Rumble saying he's a meme of the people. Yes, I am definitely a meme of the people. Make sure you guys are smashing that pussy over there on Rumble and the like button over here on YouTube. Appreciate all of you. All right, we got 500 people in the chat, by the way. So shout out to all 500, and we've got 230 likes. Let's get to 250. Let's get to 250. All right, so let's continue with this article here because I want to get through how crazy this is. Look at this. So Marvel actor Jonathan Majors was on trial for 2 weeks over assault and harassment. Before the jury's verdict was handed down, the verdict in the court of public opinion. By the way, I love how they care about the court of public opinion when it's to prove a man innocent. So they prove with Johnny Depp when they take Johnny Depp's side, right? Not for guilt or innocent in the criminal sense, but just talking about defamation, whether what he said was defamation or not, or sorry, what the Washington Post said was defamation or not, and what Johnny Depp's lawyers said was defamation or not, whether it was true or not true, right? Because it involved a man, particularly a white man, right? Well, we can't have the court of opinion speaking up on that, right? Where was the court of public opinion comment for Rittenhouse or for George Floyd saying, hey, well, maybe we shouldn't listen to the court of public opinion on Derek Chauvin. Maybe we shouldn't hear the court of public opinion on Rittenhouse. Maybe we shouldn't hear the court of public opinion on a lot of other cases where, we have a preformed opinion, particularly one that's been politicized or made into a political message. So he was convicted of 2 accounts, one account of assault in the 3rd degree and harassment in the 2nd degree. So he is a convicted criminal. He's a convicted abuser. The case hinged on the March 2023 incident where then girlfriend had text messages from Majors from another woman. So how is that similar, right? Well, they're saying because somebody on X, right, wrote this Jonathan Majors case is turning into yet another crazy ex-girlfriend matter. How much of any of these in Hollywood do we need to know? So literally they're using one random X user, and I'm going to pull them up. I want to make sure before I'm going to look at this tab real quick. They're literally taking a comment. Look at what they're doing here. Look at how deceptive this article is, right? So let me show you what they're doing. Let me expose what they're doing in real time. Okay? So look at what they're doing here. Look at what this crazy author is doing here. So she's using the comment from an X user. Right? How many views do you think this got? How many views do you think this got? How many? If you guessed about as many as we're viewing this live stream right now, you'd be correct. Right? Actually, this live stream already has more views because some people have viewed it and unviewed it. Look at this. She's quoting a comment from a person with 517 views. This isn't even like it's not even a well spread thing. She's taking this comment from a small niche nobody account and she's using it. So because somebody said it and put it out there, even if nobody's paying attention to it, nobody's being influenced by it, she's taking something because it's sensational. She's creating the drama. She's creating the drama here. This is not a real thing. This is not a real controversial issue. So taking all these know-nothing X users, putting them together and saying, okay, well, since both claims related to claims of assault, no. One of them was civil, one of them was criminal. Totally different. And now I love how they emphasize this woman, this author, female author, emphasize that Miss Heard countersued and partially won. One count. She overall lost and was proven to be the liar materially. And in fact, the only person that was proved to have said something untrue was his lawyer, right? It was said that his lawyer was, if anything, guilty of defamation. But Johnny Depp was found through agency to be responsible for the comments of his lawyer. But Amber Heard herself directly was found to be lying, right? So that's, I think, one of the more damning things about this. They're also saying Mr. Major's trial wasn't live streamed. However, some evidence, like we saw the text messages, audio recording, video footage, was released to the public. That's it. That's all. Those are that's not really much evidence here making these the same. So saying that both men are famous, okay. There's women involved. There's not much here to say that these two are absolutely similar, right? It's basically comparing. There's more comparisons between Jonathan Majors and Amber Heard than anything else. So I just want to put that one to bed. It really did pick me off. They made that comparison, but I appreciate you guys made me feel better with the $20 super sticker. Thank you so much for the Shiba Champion super sticker. Appreciate that and love you, Leprechaun Gold, great supporter of the channel. Is this live with 20 Legal Mindset memberships, followed by Matrix with 5 Legal Mindset memberships. So welcome and thank you to Matrix and Is This Live. Let's welcome all the new members here that are as a result of that. So as a result of those gifts, right, you now have, say thank you, Chell99, Lisa Kohler, Eyes on the Wire, Robert Nelson, McLink, Nolito, Jay Wu, Kevin Page, Peggy Cole, Fulltime FM, Burberry's, MJ, Big Zane, 187, Ultra Magnus, Luke Leiberbach, Solid State Citizen, Lady Muck, Floral from Under a Rock, Dennis Conlon, Electric Gynic. All you guys are members as a result of Is This Live. And then as a result of Matrix, Minxie Valkrum, Matthew White. We got Gam Gam ×3, Dan the Animator, Master Breadloaf. I love reading the names. Why I do this is because I get to read the names. And I love you guys. I love your usernames. I love you. We're turning this into a green stream. It's absolutely going to be great. So thank you so much for that, guys. Appreciate that. And welcome to all those that are in the chat here today. All right, next topic. Let's move on. We're going to get into Elon and what's going on with Elon. But before we do that, guys, I have some news on the next big hit Disney show. It's going to come out right now. Disney is going to do a remake of X-Files. How great, how excited are you for the Disney X-Files remake? How excited? How excited? On a level of 1 to 10, do you think we see a pregnant... Oh God! Like, who's gonna be pregnant this time? I think the dude is gonna be pregnant this time. Oh man! And listen, to be honest, I was never a huge X-Files fan. Just to be very clear, that was not my thing. Yeah, Ryan Coogler is gonna produce it. Oh man, this is gonna be absolutely fantastic. So I absolutely am ready for some pregnant men in this. The aliens are going to be impregnating Mulder for sure. And Scully will transition. It's going to be great. I want to believe that aliens can impregnate a man. But look, if you like the original X-Files, good on you. I know a lot of people liked it. That's great. But yeah, that's it's going to be interesting. Let's just say it's going to be interesting when Disney makes it. Oh, no. If they trans Scully, then the new saying will be the trans is out there. No, Jim, behave. Aliens will berate humans before asking for their strong black trans leader. Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh, man. It's going to be great. Okay. So, moving on from that travesty, we've got the war between Elon and Disney. So we have now a based move by Tesla to get rid of Disney Plus from all Tesla vehicles. So Tesla is removing Disney Plus from all its vehicles. That I think is pretty awesome, to be honest. That's pretty awesome. So here we have the news that Tesla has removed Disney Plus from some of its vehicles amid Elon Musk having an online fight with Disney CEO Bob Iger. The fight started when Disney halted its advertising on X after Musk agreed with and amplified anti-Semitic content. Okay, so this article is already bullshit, right? It's not he agreed with it, right? Listen, he retweets stuff. That does not mean you necessarily agree with it just because you retweet it, right? Retweeting is just, okay, you're circulating this thing out there. It's not necessarily consented to saying, okay, I agree with it. And also, is that content truly anti-Semitic or is it not, right? That's the question. Every week there's new drama with Elon Musk. This is bullshit. That's bullshit framing, right? The drama is created by the mainstream media. It's created by the people that are coming for Elon because they want to silence free speech. This is the real battle, guys. The real battle is the silencing of free speech. And as we're going to see, there are people who want to silence free speech. This is the obviously the famous "Go Fuck Yourself" video that was posted. So this is the next kind of move here, and people are associating this. People are trying to tie together the battle in Florida, which I covered, the court battle, which clearly is in favor of Florida law, clearly is in favor of the state winning, the CFTOD winning. Right? They're trying to tie together DeSantis, Peltz, and Elon and saying, oh, these are all personal vendettas, right? These are all personal moves. These are all things that are made because they have beef with Disney rather than, hey, it's Disney who took the action. These people are reacting to it. Disney pulled its ads over bullshit. And yeah, now Elon's saying, look, Disney Plus is removed from Tesla Theater, right? So it's done. It's out. Good for them. Good for them. And he's not perfect. Look, I'm no Elon stan that thinks Elon is perfect. Elon has a lot of flaws, but in this case, I am supporting him against these folks, and especially against the EU. So I want to show you the video. That where Elon Musk is talking with the Europeans, and he actually finds out, and I'm going to talk about this, that he is under investigation by the European Commission. So let's listen in to this him talking to the European Commission. This is really great. He talks about Disney, he talks about the woke mind virus, but he also finds out right at the end that he's under investigation by the European Commission, which we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about the insane laws of Europe and how Europe wants to censor everybody. So let's kick into this.
All the young people, not only the young people from important Italian party, and most of them use the social network. They use X, and I saw in the past days that the
audio's a little low.
Disney said, "I don't want to invest any advertising on X," and he's investing, for example, in the Meta, in the Instagram, and he said there are problems of, I don't know which kind of problem they find on X. In comparison. I want you.
So let me say real quick, because this Italian guy was kind of low. What he was saying is that Disney, because Bob Iger said he doesn't want to invest on X, he's going to invest on their platform. So Bob Iger came out and said we're not investing on X, right? So they're talking about this in Europe. This is over there in Europe.
Exploitation on Instagram.
Yeah, what's going on? Why an important investor like Disney said something so tough on X? What's going on there?
Well, I think first of all, I think X will be fine, and we are actually already seeing advertisers return to X. So I guess they were, I don't know, upset with something I said or something. I don't know, but they, advertisers, I think, the brand advertisers are a little they're always worried about their brand, and maybe I think maybe a bit more than they should be. But I think it's a short-term issue. Like I said, the advertisers, they sometimes get upset, but then they usually calm down and they return to advertising. So,
come on, you know that there is the woke virus over there.
well, oh yes,
We have to say so. I don't want to answer for you.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. If we're going to fight the woke mind virus, then the woke mind virus will fight back. And unfortunately, Disney is deeply infected with the woke mind virus. In fact, if you ask an AI what is the most woke company on earth, it's Disney.
Really?
which is the point, right? It's very much the point.
But and you have to say, I think they should be asking themselves, what would Walt Disney think of Disney today?
And this is what we've been saying for a year, right? And I see people saying, hey, look, listen, everybody is now waking up to this. Everybody's getting on this, but we've been saying this for a year. Go back at my videos a year ago. Go back to my videos 2 years ago. I was saying this even then. People are only listening now. The thing is, people are finally listening. It's trending. It's out there. It's been put out there. Elon's putting it out there. We have been saying this forever. I've been saying this for the longest time, right? And this is something that's been out there for the longest time in terms of us saying it. It's only now that people are actually listening, right? That people are actually listening. Starting fraud says the WEF are super woke. He's talking to the wrong crowd. Yeah, was this a WEF meeting? I know it was in Europe, right? But clearly the folks that he's the guy he's talking to, I mean, he's using the questions. He's saying, hey, look, this woke mind virus. The guy who is his interviewer brought up that phrase. Elon didn't bring up that phrase. So this is something that absolutely, where you see absolutely the fact that Elon is talking about it is getting it out there to more people. Now we know it, right? We've talked about it, but him talking about it publicly and then it getting out on X, people are waking up to this. People are waking up to the fact that these people have a mental issue. These people are deranged. These people are absolutely, they're absolutely crazed, and they will not stop until they take over everything. I don't want to silence anybody. I don't want to silence them from talking about their woke stuff, right? I want them to be able to do that. However, right? Everybody should be able to get on a platform and speak. And you can choose whether you allow that speech, or you can choose you consume that speech or don't consume that speech, but the platform should allow the speech. That's the American Constitution. Now, let's be very clear. Europe is not America. And I'm going to have a video really going into this and going into depth, but guys, I know it offends. I love my European brothers and sisters. I love you. I have European family. I have European friends. I visit Europe a lot. But you guys do not have freedom of speech at the same level that we do. And after the European Commission's new censorship laws, which somebody mentioned, Russell Brand has talked about this and other folks talked about this, these laws allow the European Union, for all the European Union members, to censor what you hear and do not hear in Europe. They create a ministry of truth in Europe. That is not exaggeration. We're going to look into that. Europe now has a ministry of truth. This is a factual statement. This is not in fact, this is true, right? They are the ones that are going to decide, and you're going to see in this article, they're deciding what is true and not true. They're deciding what is information that is factual and not factual, right? The mind rot virus is strong in Europe. Yeah, and the thing is, it's under the premise of we're going to protect everybody. It's on the premise of, well, we have to protect people. So they vote for it for safety, for protection, right? Oh, we have to stop all these mean people. Yeah, and as Jay said, I will want and protect the rights for people to say whatever dumb shit online they want. Yes, and I will fight for that. I will fight for that. I'll fight for the fact that people can go out there and be crazy, annoying communists, and they can also be shut down by people dropping facts. Thank you, Timothy, by the way, for the $20 super sticker. Appreciate you. Very adorable super sticker there. Thank you so much, Timothy Kennedy. Appreciate you. You, sir, are absolutely based for supporting this channel. But all the rest of you, guys, we are at almost 600 people and 328 likes. Let's get a 350 likes. Thank you so much. Jeffrey said, hey, Andrew, I would have sent you a super chat, but I didn't manage to catch this live. It is live. We're still live, Jeffrey. It's still live. So you're here. You're here for this very, very live premiere where I can use super chats. Oh, man. Okay, you got that. So let's watch the rest of this. Let's play this and watch the rest of it.
I think he's turning in his grave. I think he's not happy.
Sure.
You know, if the namesake of the company is not happy, that's probably a bad sign, you know? Because Walt Disney, what did he care about? He cared about bringing joy to people's lives. He brought up, you know,
families.
Making wonderful things that children and families could enjoy. You know, he created some of the coolest, you know, art in the world, and stuff that even 100 years after it's created, we still remember it. And it's still a major thing. But you have to say, how great was Walt Disney? It was amazing.
And the implication there is that Bob Iger in the current Disney is everything that is not. So what did he just say? Walt Disney created great stuff. Disney is creating shit. Disney is creating trash. That's the implication here, right? Walt Disney was pro-family. Bob Iger is anti-family. He hates family. He hates children. In fact, he wants to target adults. He wants to target Disney adults. And he wants to target Disney adults that have a particular political edge. He wants to take a certain group of Disney adults and make them the main thing. In fact, some studies have shown, and we've talked about this with Valiant Renegade, with Mike, with WW Pro, increasingly the Disney marketplace is adults. It's not children, which is very disturbing to me, that the people that are coming in here, including the deranged people, I see them pop in the chat. I think we had one today, you know, the pixie dusters, the folks that are derangedly pro-Disney that won't even listen to anything that's anti-Disney at all whatsoever. Even when I tell them, hey, look, this comes from a place of, hey, I want them to do better so they can be like the Disney of my childhood. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear that. All they want to hear is, we must protect the mouse at all costs. We must protect Bob Iger. They are like a religious zealot that is on Ritalin. It's just absolutely nuts. Yeah, Corey Schuler. Oh my God, yes, a new Funko Pop Aladdin. Yeah, exactly. Like that. Those people creep me out. Those people literally disturb me. And that's what we have now. We don't have the family market that Walt wanted, which is why I completely agree. He is turning over in his grave.
But now Disney, at least for now, is deeply infected with the woke mind virus. I think that will, you know, that will change.
Yeah, I hope so. He arrived at the European Commission. They're not investing on X. You know that.
Maybe they're they got the woke mind virus too. Yeah.
You don't care.
Look at that.
I think so. You know.
Look at Elon. He handles that so well by being like, I really don't care. He's like, oh, they're investigating me. Come at me, bro. Handled that very well. I will say, handled that interaction very well, right? But absolutely a good response there. Maybe they got the woke mind virus too. No, they definitely do. And let's look at that investigation. So he actually found out live he's being investigated, right? And you can see what they're bringing against them. So let's look at what Brussels is investigating here, right? So this is from Euronews. The European Commission launches legal action against Elon Musk's X over illegal content and disinformation. So they now have an official legal action against X under the new Digital Services Act, the DSA, right? So what are they going after him for? These are the infringements here, guys, right here. So pay attention. Right. Number one, for the dissemination of illegal content, saying they have the measures taken to identify and swiftly remove illegal content, such as allowing users to flag content. So this is something that they are requiring in Europe. They want users to be able to flag content and to immediately take it down. Right. So when a user says, oh, this is not good, that you should immediately take it down. Anything that hurts your fifis gets taken down immediately. That's what the DSA wants to require, right? So that's illegal under the DSA. And I love how they say illegal. It's illegal under their ridiculous law, which, by the way, their law is illegal in America. So what trumps America's freedom of speech in our Constitution, or some modern 2023 DSA bullshit from a bunch of Europeans that are trying to push their politics on Americans and on the rest of the world? It really, to me, their shit is illegal, and their attempt to do this is illegal. And if we had a president with any balls, right? If we had a president with some balls, what that president would do is they'd take this as a declaration of war and they would sanction Europe. Look, I am of the fact that we should defend our Constitution. I think seeing this coming down the pike, seeing this come down the pike here, we should sanction Europe over this. We should say, you know what? Sanctioning you. We're going to block your companies, your internet companies coming into the U.S. How about that? We're going to cut you out of the U.S. market. How about fuck you? You want to play that game, Europe? You want to silence our Constitution? You want to stop our freedom of speech? Yeah, we're going to come at you, motherfuckers. We're going to come at you. They want to play hardball? You're not a rival. You're our bitch. Like, you are our bitch when it comes to economics. You don't have anybody else, motherfuckers. You got nobody. You are a failing economy. Your countries are in chaos. You're overwhelmed socially. You have a complete breakdown of your system. Come the fuck on. Europe, you're going to tell us what freedom of speech is? Fuck you. We've started our own country for this. We fought a war over this. You are not going to come here on our hood and tell us, our American companies, and tell us what we can say and not say. No. There's a fucking line, and that's the line. You want to play that game? We'll go back to the day. Look, we used to fear the British Navy, but guess what? U.S. Navy has got you, baby. You want to play that game? Let's blockade you. How are you going to like that? How are you going to like that? If I'm president, they try to pull this shit, they'll be bending over backwards in 2 seconds. Oh, we're so sorry. We'll never do it again. Yeah, you're damn right you won't. That's the America we need back. We need an America with some balls that says, when we have a constitution and we are protecting your ass. Mind you, we're paying for NATO. How about, you know what? Fuck NATO. We're out of NATO now. Defend yourself, Germany. Defend yourself, France. Instead of spending so much time on this woke bullshit, how much you pay for your military? You want to fight Russia? Good luck with that, homies. Good luck with that. Is This Live says the horrible irony about this happening in Europe with culture and speech is exactly what Europeans used to accuse Americans of doing 30 years ago. Exactly. They used to say they're trying to censor our companies. No, we let you guys do whatever you want. Now they're coming over and saying, no, we're going to censor you. This is the WEF making a move, guys. This is Klaus Schwab and his people making a move on our freedom of speech. And this is where we have to stand on this. I will be covering this closely. You better fucking believe I'm going to be on this. Some Brussels bullshit. Yeah, I'm going to be on this. Right? I am going to be on this. Hey, England. We screwed your mom. I like that. Oh, God. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. And look, the EU can go. EU. Hey, European Union. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, European Union. I'm going to cover this all the way through. I'm going to cover this all the way through. I'm going to try to reach out to Russell Brand. Maybe I can talk to Russell Brand about it. If he knows about it. I ain't afraid. I ain't scared. All right, let me continue. The next one is this is just one count. The next count is they think it's illegal for their measures to combat information manipulation, such as the so-called, they have an issue with the community notes introduced in 2021 to debunk misleading posts. Guys, I didn't show this. Let me show the screen here. Guys, they are trying to say that community posts are bad. Community posts are some of the best things ever now on X. Because community posts have gotten back to stating facts instead of fiction. Community posts have gotten back to saying, no, actually, here's another opinion. And they don't even say that it's wrong. They just state the facts. They're like, okay, well, here's the facts, right? So you can interpret these facts whatever way you want to. Here's some alternative facts. Those community notes have been on point. The reason why Europe doesn't like them is they've been debunking a lot of bullshit that's been coming from the left particularly relating to Ukraine, relating to what comes out of the Middle East, what comes out of the narrative regarding COVID. They've been debunking January 6th. They've been debunking these things left and right. Right? Left and right. And it's great. Yeah, I love the community notes. The community notes lately have been based. They've been great. So that's what they have a problem with. They don't like the community notes. Next, they say they don't like their measures to increase transparency. They think that the government, that X has not turned over enough of its private data to the government in Europe. Think about that. The government in Europe is demanding the intellectual property of an American corporation. Once again, an American president who's fucking awake, unlike Joe Biden, who's sleeping right now in his diaper, an American president, when he looks at an American company who Europe and a bunch of European governments are saying our governments want access to an American company's private information, they can say, guess what? Fuck you, European governments. You will not get the IP of our country. And many other countries do that. China does that. Hell, in Thailand, if you tried to come after certain Thai companies, you better believe they're going to be like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Go away. Right? There's a lot of companies that try to pull shit in other countries, and they say no because they have balls, and they can just say, yeah, we're not doing that. Why can China have more balls than us? Why does Xi have to be the one who can actually say, no, actually screw off? Right? Or Putin or whoever else, right? Why can't we do that too? Why can't we do that too? And then last, deceptive design. So the design is deceptive because the blue check marks are paid for. And that's supposed to be an active, notable, and authentic. Yes, well, you have to pay for it, right? So you are an authentic and active and notable just in the fact that you have paid for it. So you're noteworthy because you've paid, right? You're committed. You have some money on the line. You have a stake that is of note. See, what they want is they want the day where only celebrities and only those that are blessed by the WEF, that are blessed by the higher ups, they only want famous people because they can control famous people. They cannot control your average everyday man. They are terrified that the average guy can go out there and do his own research. And as I say on this channel, be your own judge. They are terrified of that. They are frightened. They're shitting their pants right now because people are thinking, and the average guy is like, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense. They are scared that X will wake people up, and that's why they need to crack down. This is a massive case. This is going to be huge, and I'm definitely going to stay on top of this. So they're going to try to come after them for moderation. They're going to try to drop moderators on X. They're going to try to do it, but X has said that, hey, we will pull out. We will pull out of Europe rather than censor ourselves, which is absolutely 100% the right move. They should say, Europe, you don't want us, we're out. Peace. Deuces, Europe. Deuces, Europe. They'll still get the UK because the UK is Brexited, right? Because of Brexit, UK is actually in a better position. They'll get Eastern Europe because Eastern Europe, a lot of it is not part of the EU. They won't get France and Germany, but once again, and I will say this, and I will say this strong, France and Germany are not that relevant to the world economy. Sorry, they're not. And they're increasingly irrelevant. In fact, if anything, this whole Ukraine war has shown how irrelevant Europe is. Europe has no real power anymore. Their power is impotent. They're flaccid. And there's no Cialis or Viagra that's going to fix their flaccidity. So that's what we got for Elon. I will be on top of that case 100%. Let's see. Yeah, I want to read this one from Rumble. Whitesboro said, so with their community notes comment, they admit they want disinformation. They can't stand it being called out. Well, at least they admit it. Yeah, no, the mask is off. Guys, the mask is off for Europe. The mask is completely off for Europe. So it's becoming pretty clear what's going on there. All right. Next, a little bit of hilariousness here to round us out is Disney saying Peltz lacks the skills to help business as a proxy battle heats up. So Peltz is saying that, hey, Peltz is lacking these skills to have a board seat. So Nelson Peltz, who's going for a board seat, a Disney board seat, is saying that, hey, he lacks the skills and experience to help the media giant. He does not understand Disney's businesses and lacks the skills and experience to assist the board in delivering shareholder value. Okay, guys, to me, I was laughing my ass off when I read this Disney defense because literally nobody on the Disney board, none of them, not a single human being on that board, other than like Bob Iger, is even slightly involved in the theme park industry. So that is the biggest case of projection. That is the biggest case of projection by Bob Iger and by Disney and the Disney board that I've ever seen in my life. These people are a bunch of woke lackeys that are from companies that are affiliated with Bob Iger or personal friends of Bob Iger. It's pretty much an Iger selected board. And almost all of them have nothing to do with the businesses of Disney. They have nothing to do with them, right? And mind you, Peltz is getting 3 seats, and one of which he's already nominated somebody who is a former Disney executive. So they clearly understand Disney better than anybody else on the board. In addition, Peltz has millions of shares. So he, of course, might want to be on that as an investor. He has billions invested in Disney. You know what the collective amount of stock of all the other board members is? All the other Disney board members have less than 15 million in stock. Peltz has billions in stock. Okay? Billions in stock. It's not even close. So when you look at the amount of stock, billions versus less than 15 million in the aggregate, Nelson Peltz alone would have more stock than the entire board combined. Even Iger. So that alone should merit it, not to mention he's improved the company. He's looking to look at the finances and audit the company, which is what he indeed does have skill in. Does have skill in. So our army has the finest finger. So yeah, he's got more than enough skill for that. Oh, I want to say Sticky Syrup Everywhere says someone should interview Steamboat Willie, get his take on Disney sickness now that he's out from under his contract. Speaking of which, okay, so I was doing some thinking, some brainstorming. I want to give a quick casting call here, right? So this is a quick casting call to you guys. If any of you guys are artists or you are artistically inclined or you are capable, please hit me up. Send me a DM or an email, whether it's on Twitter or my email, andrewesquirelive@gmail.com. If you know somebody who's artistically inclined, hit me up because I'm looking for an artist to drop my CD Creek. I want to try to aim for January, so it's going to be pretty quick, pretty small project. But I'm looking for a good artist that can help me with my CD Creek project, in which perhaps Steamboat Willie will make a glorious return since he's back in the public domain January 1st. So if you're an artist, hit me up. I'm looking for a good artist, looking for somebody that's good and I can work with. Drop an email to me. If you know somebody, drop an email. Also, if you know anybody who is good at AI generated art, and you've got maybe like a Mid-Journey subscription or something like that, like you can hit me up as well, because I want to see if we can generate some cool promo art as well. So hit me up. All right. Get in touch with Shad, man. We're not doing hentai. No, this is going to be family friendly. It's got to be family friendly. Disney adult friendly. Okay. I can draw a mean stick figure. Too. Okay. So the last thing I want to play is this video. Now, this is a video from CNBC. So take it with a grain of salt. The guy's kind of a dork, but he makes some good points about the proxy battle. So I want you guys to watch this, right? So this is about the Nelson Peltz proxy battle. Right.
Michael Flaherty. He's the Axios editor. Good morning to you.
Morning, Andrew.
So what do we think of this?
Well,
let's talk Nelson first.
All right, we'll talk Nelson first.
Peltz.
So the gloves are off, right? I mean, we don't even have a nomination deadline start yet.
Right.
And the letters going back and forth. I mean, the temperature has turned about as high as you can get when you've got two sides like this. And he's clearly, he wants to be on the board. He wants a couple of different directors of his and his firm's recommendation to be on the board. Disney's made it very clear, we don't want you on the board, period.
Do we think, and I actually asked Bob Iger about this earlier this week, you know, some people say, take an activist, bring him on the board, shut him down, right? Sometimes people say, bring him under the tent, so this whole thing just sort of like goes away, or maybe not. There's other people who say the second you bring somebody like that on the board, you have now infected the board, and you actually, they do have more influence, even though they're one person, than anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was a recommendation for years. What's the harm, right? Was the term used for bring an agitated investor on the board and see what happens. I think what several boards and several executives would tell you is that a single person can be extremely disruptive. Now, on the other side of that, of course, what Tryon would say is, look, we come to every single meeting with a packet of this high of information.
Let me just, I don't want to take sides in this, but have you heard one idea out of Nelson Peltz's camp at all that's unique, has not been considered, or different than anything coming out of Disney?
Well, hold on. So real quick, the CNBC and the folks who are at the department, they are 100%. This guy is 100% simping for Disney here, right? And also, I hate the word activist, and they're intentionally when you hear them overusing the word activist, that's because they know that is something that pisses them off. Nelson Peltz has said he does not consider himself an activist. He owns shares. He has the right as a shareholder to get value for his shares. Disney is not delivering. So this motherfucker who's here like, oh, well, what are they going to do that's different than Disney? Anything, literally anything. Disney is losing their shareholders' money. They've chopped the literal valuation of the company in half, right? So this guy who's being a Disney shill here, right, with this language, using activists repeatedly and saying, oh, what are they going to do different? Anything, everything. Obviously, they'll get into more specific plans when they take over, but getting Bob Iger out is a big thing, right? And that's something that Disney is not doing. They are not getting rid of Bob Iger. Bob Iger is going to be there forever. And one of the biggest things they've said is, hey, we're going to get back to profitability, and we're going to get back to having a succession plan, which they do not have right now. Getting those people at the top out, that is very important. That is very, very important. So let me continue this here.
Right now we haven't, right? That's what people are. I mean, your colleague David Faber mentioned this yesterday. Like, what's the plan, right? We know you want to get on the board. Where's the white paper? I mean, remember, he was critical previously.
He's going to have a
last
white
year
paper,
when we were in the same situation.
Everybody can throw stones, throw some solutions.
Yeah.
And throw good solutions is the real issue.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, his criticism last year was the M&A strategy, right? He was very critical of the Fox Entertainment asset deal. Right. I mean, that whole argument now is sort of dated. So we're all waiting to see, what is your plan? What do you want from the company?
But until he gets a plan, do you think that shareholders will support Nelson Peltz? I mean, Nelson right now, it's Nelson Peltz plus
Correct.
The question is, how much influence do you think that they have collectively?
Well, I mean, they have a large chunk of shares, right? I mean, it's 33 million shares, I think, is the current total.
Yeah, so 33 million shares, right? So that's at 92 a share or whatever. So they've got a significant amount of skin in the game.
$2.5 billion. I mean, look,
$2.5 billion.
You have to persuade a lot more.
You need BlackRock. You need Vanguard. You need State Street, right? You need the index funds. Now, the one thing that's
1%.
What's that?
It's not even 1% of the shares.
Right. It's I don't know what the exact percentage is, but
I think it's like 3%
other people
actually
in your camp, right? It's 50 plus 1. If this thing goes to a vote, you need 50 plus 1.
It's a $169 billion company. So.
Right. So I think that, look, right now, what they would tell you is Disney shares have been lagging considerably, right? So I think that they obviously have that in their argument, as a case for change. So look, and this ultimately, I mean, all signs go right now. This thing's going to a proxy fight. I mean, this meeting's not even until May, and like the letters going back and forth were of the nature yesterday, where like there is doesn't seem very little room for like negotiating, for settlement. Like these two are going at it.
So that's the key I wanted to bring up here. This is the biggest point here. This is the biggest point. We have till May, right? So let's emphasize this. We have till May, right? It's already spicy now. It's already spicy now. But we've got all this time for this lead up. We've got all this time. What is going to happen before May? Ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen before May? Disney is probably going to lose their court cases. They're probably going to lose their cases in the federal court and in state court. They are going to lose in court. So they're going to have major repercussions there. So they're going to get blasted there. What's going to happen before May? Criminal charges are going to probably be pressed by the Florida AG before May. I'm not sure, but on the timing and their timing. But my prediction, I am predicting that there will likely be criminal charges pressed before May. That will be a bombshell. When those criminal charges are pressed against Disney executives, Disney individuals, people at former Reedy Creek that were double dealing, Disney professionals, this is going to be an absolute bombshell. And that's going to be exactly the time when Perlmutter can come in and Peltz can say, Peltz and Perlmutter can come in and say, hey, we're right here. We'll save the company, but you got to give us the reins. It's the death blow. And these guys are speaking prematurely. And what these guys are and I'm not going to play the rest because they get into simping for Disney more. But what they're doing is they're saying, well, right now, people are still backing Disney. Okay, that's fine. Like right now, BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street haven't backed up Nelson Peltz, but eventually they will, because despite the fact that they love ESG and all this other stuff, they actually have to make money at a certain point. And there's a point that the woke will only protect themselves so far. There is a point at which they're like, all right, we have to make money, so we'll do X, right? These are companies, right, that do have to make money at some point. And if it's pointed out, particularly that, hey, Vanguard and State Street are not interested in earning money, guess what that does to Vanguard and State Street? People stop investing in those Vanguard funds. People pull their money from the Vanguard funds because they're like, hey, these people aren't actually making money. They're actually investing poorly in companies that are performing poorly. So maybe we should pull out some funds there. So yeah, that's when the state charges drop. When the state charges drop, it's going to be a party. And I think we're going to have that party. We're going to be popping champagne over here, popping Sangsam over here. In Thailand. I think it's going to be a great time. I think it's going to be a great time for us. And absolutely hilarious, by the way. So we are going to have an absolute party about it. It's going to be great. Grant says that's why Tennessee is suing BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. Yeah, because they're not being good fiduciaries, right? They're investing poorly. And a lot of states are trying to pull out their money from anybody that's doing ESG or DEI, right? Which I absolutely support. Right? Absolutely support. Lucas owns 37 million shares, 2.1%. So if Lucas gets on there, dude, and just imagine, guys, it's not just about the shares. It's about the PR. Imagine the hit. Even if, look, let's say they lose the proxy war. Let's say it is 52% that vote for Iger and 48% that vote for Peltz's slate. You know what that shows? That shows that 48% of your shareholders don't like you. That pretty much will chop your valuation in a significant amount. I mean, the people looking at the value of the company will go, holy shit. About half the people think this company is trash. Even if it's a third, even if it's 25%, that's not a good look for a company when such a significant minority are being silenced. It also looks at a company and says, you don't listen to your minority stakeholders. That's a shitty company. A shitty company ignores their minority stakeholders. They completely blank them out. So the value will be chopped even lower, and that will ultimately be an L for Disney and L for the company. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Now, I will say one thing, by the way. I will say one thing real quick, that Peltz is not going to mention the criminal stuff. So here's why. Peltz is not going to mention Florida and not going to mention the audit. Here's why. Peltz's argument is he wants to improve the value of the company. If he was to agree about the criminal stuff or bring it up, that will damage the value of the company in the long term, because criminal charges stick around even when Bob Iger leaves. So as Bob Iger gets his golden parachute and exits Disney, the criminal charges will stay. And those are liabilities of the Disney Corporation, which are there regardless of whether Peltz is in charge or Iger is in charge. And that's why Peltz isn't really benefited to bring them up. It doesn't really help Peltz to bring it up. It might even hurt him because he might be perceived as in cahoots with Ron DeSantis. And he doesn't need that perception because the Disney people are already trying to make him seem that way. They're already trying to make him seem like he's collaborating, like, you know, Peltz is collaborating with Ron DeSantis. They're trying to make those people seem like the same thing. And Elon is collaborating with Ron DeSantis and Peltz. Like these guys are getting in a room and they're like, hey. No, that's not actually happening. These guys independently can identify that that Disney's a crappy corporation. Thank you for the $5, Leslie Kohler. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. And also say thank you, everybody in the chat who received a membership there from Leslie. So Ricky Bobby, Silent Rage 5, Chuck, King Ginger 333, Chaucerian Fraud. Please say thank you to Leslie. Please say thank you to Leslie. She gave you a membership. So thank you to Leslie. A Leprechaun Gold drops a $50 super chat. Giga chatting in here. Thank you so much, Leprechaun Gold, bringing us up over here over the Hundy mark for supers today. So thank you so much. Appreciate you and appreciate the 51 new members in the chat going gangbusters here. Yeah. I like this. The comment says, given the current instability, I don't think you can be cavalier to say it's normal for companies to go down. It's not this much, not 50%. This amount of value lost, not close. This is not normal. It's not okay. And it's not something that should be celebrating. Let's see here. Profitability would be based MAGA takes would be a better route to sell. Well, I think that, look, if they went the MAGA route, that would be better for the company than the woke route, because at least, look, if they went the MAGA route, that doesn't exclude the woke people. The woke people just self-exclude. The thing about supporting Trump is not that Trump people ban the woke people. Like, it's not like My Pillow guy is not selling to Democrats. He's never said that. He's never done that, right? Mike Lindell, I think his name, Mike Lindell. He's never said, oh, I'm only selling to Democrats. He's just being like, no, I support Trump, right? And I make a good pillow, right? That's pretty much it. He's not saying, oh, I'm not allowing these people to speak. It's not the same on the other side. The other side says, no, we want to silence you and we don't want you as a customer, right? There's a difference. And by the way, on the MAGA side, on the right-hand side, you're going to have more families and you're going to have more family values. I think that plays better into the Disney image than the left side. If you were going to take a political side, it doesn't make much sense, right? It doesn't make much sense. So anyways, that's what I wanted to drop out there for you guys and give you some straight facts there. Thank you so much to all the supporters. Thank you to the membership gifters today. Is This Live? Leslie Kohler. Let me scroll back up here. We had a lot today. Matrix, thank you so much for those donations, as well as, Is This Live? You had multiple. So thank you for those multiple donations. You guys are really the base Jads and Stacys of this. Please make sure to smash the like button. We are almost at 500 likes here tonight. I will be coming back to you. Today is Tuesday. I'll be coming back to you tomorrow morning with a stream. And then throughout the weekend, so like Thursday, I'm going to try to stream as well. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we're talking the Christmas weekend will be premieres most likely. If I can stream, I may stream from my phone. But if I don't, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas weekend. I will definitely be back live streaming on the 26th as well. And, for those that may not catch me because I stream at different times, I just want to say I hope you have a lovely Christmas. I hope you have a lovely time with your families, with your friends. Please have a blessed time, a fun time, and know that I am out there supporting all of you as you are going out there on your daily lives and being your own judge. Leslie Kohler says, love you, Andrew. Love you too, Leslie. Appreciate you and appreciate everybody supporting me here in the chat. Merry Christmas, guys. I say that unabashedly, even to the ho-ho-hos. And I will catch you all on the next one, guys.